What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel. The sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, guys, today's topic, we're going to talk about University of North Carolina. Yes, I hate to say it as an NC State guy. We're talking about UNC wide receiver Dyami Brown.
Foul across, right into his line of vision.
16-yard gain. He's going to go deep right away here. He's got a wide receiver open, and he's going to get into the...
Wow, elite vertical threat. I mean, that's what he's known for, and it's what he should be known for, because I know there's questions about the versatility of his game, right? A lot of coaches, we heard him speak with Chris Sims. He was talking with Chris Sims, and he admitted that a lot of teams are pressing him on that issue of, like, you know, hey, like, why weren't you moved around the formation? Why weren't you playing in the slot? Why didn't we see you play a whole lot from the flanker or the right side of the offense? Why were the majority of your snaps taking on the left side? And he's like, look, you know, it was just what was required of the offense. There's definitely going to be questions about that, because if you go to his slot, guys, he only took 4 snaps in 2020 from the slot. So, I mean, of course that's going to be a question mark. But right from the jump, guys, I'm going to tell you 18.4 average depth of target. Very much a vertical threat. This young man can get vertical with the best of them, guys. There's just no doubt about it in my mind.
They can attack.
Play action. Sam going up top. Looking end zone. Caught. Dyami Brown.
Now, what I will say is this. There was a lot of hoopla that started around Dyami Brown following his pro day. People got a little too overly involved with the 4.46 40 time. They expected much faster because the tape shows a guy who's much faster. I'm not too sure what happened there, guys. That's why I don't put a ton of stock in 40 times. Like, they don't matter. They really don't. Go back and look at Gabriel Davis, the rookie wide receiver from Buffalo last year. He was phenomenal. He's not a 4.3 guy. He's just really good in his route running. And he's a big physical guy that can go get the football. You look at a guy like Dyami Brown, I'm more so concerned about the short shuttle number he put up, which is a 4.35. That's very J.J. Arcega-Whiteside-like, right? If we're going to talk about him running a full route tree, it's a complicated conversation to have. And the only discernible information that I have about him that makes me concerned is that 4.35 short shuttle. Because that would tell me that maybe, perhaps he might have trouble sinking his hips and doing things like comebacks and curls and, you know, things that are going to really require you to get back to the quarterback and sink your hips, right?
Gave up that fast food in the offseason. Hard to do during the kept North Carolina in check to this point, and that, to me, would be...
Something like that could be affected by it. But it's a big unknown, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a guy can't run a full route tree just because he didn't do it in college. Like, you know, that's the hard part about this, is understanding UNC's scheme and what was required of the players. The scheme, which you can't knock, you know, Mac Brown, because Mac Brown put him on the map, but the scheme didn't allow for him to show a lot of versatility, and the scheme didn't allow for him to run a lot of, he didn't get a good portion of the route tree run because of that.
Defensive coordinator. Howell has a man open. Touch.
Now, what I will say is that while you can fault Mac Brown for that system and things like that, I know Mac Brown's the head coach, there's an offensive coordinator, I get it. But also, go to something like his breakout age, 19.8 years old. There's a reason why it took him that long to break out, right? You guys know the breakout age. Scouts want to see 19 years or younger, right? Early production from high school to college, generally speaking, translates well to college to the pros, right? It's not a 100%, matching kind of mirror thing. It's not the way it works, but nonetheless, that's normally a very good indicator of future success, guys. That's a big belief here inside the scouting system, the scouting world. But looking at that, I'll go into some other areas of concern outside of just a 4.46 and a 4.35 in his breakout age, guys. College dominator, right? This goes more into the system. They want to see a 45% or above. He only had a 31.7% college dominator rate. That has a lot to do with UNC's system, which had Javonte Williams and Michael Carter Williams. Like, those guys take up snaps. They're good football players. And UNC's offense really filtered through the run, and then they hit you with Dyami Brown over the top. It's kind of the way their offense worked. With Daz Newsome in the slot, like, they had very set guys that played. I like him a lot, guys. I mean, I will say that even though he has an 18.4 average depth of target, the dude jumps like 38 inches on his vertical. He ran a 6.87 3-cone. Those are really good numbers, guys. Anything under 7 on the 3-cone is, generally speaking, fairly good. And then you start jumping over 36 inches, guys, it's fairly athletic. I mean, yes, it's not the 40 and above, but it's a respectable number at 38, guys. I just didn't see that translate, though, to his contested catch numbers, right? Those things didn't necessarily translate to production when it came to contested catches, where he had 36%.
Al's going to look for the end zone. He's got a one-on-one, and he drops it in.
So you could argue that part of that's just due to the fact that he's just blowing by people with his route running, and people couldn't stay in front of him. But, you know, it is what it is. I will say this, is that he's coming off very productive seasons, guys. He had 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons with UNC. And he's coming off of 2 consecutive 50-plus reception seasons with UNC. A lot of college production at the late stages of this career, basically. He had a 3.11 yards per route run. Remember, the marker is a 2. There's a lot here to like, guys. Like, that's a pretty good number, right? He wasn't the greatest at man. Like I said, 80% or above is kind of what you want to see in man coverage, and he had about a 76.9. But that's not horrible either. That gives you hope that there's a lot to develop with this young man. Like, his game hasn't reached its ceiling yet, and he's already fairly good, right? I mean, it's all in the way that you want to interpret the numbers that are really being put before you when it comes to Dyami Brown. Personally, I think this young man is pretty good. You know, he's not scared to play against press. He even said in Chris Sims' interview, he's like, look, I like seeing press coverage, because if I win off the line of scrimmage, you're mine. I own you if I get you off the line of scrimmage.
They fake it to him, and now how? Looking to launch downfield. Here's Brown. He's got it in stride.
I like that side of Dyami Brown. Like, as a Philly fan, Philly fan here, you all know how we roll, man. We like guys that are ultra competitive. Like, we don't even care if your game is to top 10, 15% of the league. If you're super competitive and you're respectable and you're at least a decent football player, like, you're going to have a lot of support behind you here. So a guy like Dyami Brown, he's going to have a lot of fans here in Philadelphia, even if he does or doesn't end up here. This is a young man that, look, I would love to hate him because I'm an NC State guy. This is a UNC guy. But if I'm just being honest, just scouting the player, scouting the talent guys, the coaching me, coaching wide receivers prior, I like this young man a lot. I think this young man has a lot of talent. I'm not going to lie to you. But all right, guys, you already know I'm going to ask you. I want to know, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts down below. What do you guys think about Dyami Brown? I mean, I think there's something here, guys. I definitely think there's something there to Dyami Brown. But like any of these receivers, any of these players I do a breakdown on, guys, sometimes it's the fault of the player. Sometimes it's just bad misfortune to why players don't make it, like injuries. And sometimes it's more so on the coaching. Every player really needs a good coach. There's only a few guys that can outdo bad coaching. I think sometimes it gets left out of these evaluations. These guys are not finished products when they get to the field, guys. You have to coach them up. All right, guys, leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about Dyami Brown? I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. Link is in the description below. Also, don't forget to like and comment, guys. That's what spikes the algorithm and gets this suggested to more people. And last but not least, listen, guys, we do this a lot. We talk analytics. We break down film. We talk a lot. This is a community that it's mostly Philadelphia Eagles fans, but we got some other guys that are not Eagle fans that participate and communicate. We don't really care what team you're involved on, as long as you stay respectful and you're talking physical data and numbers. We'd love to join. We'd love to have you add and join us. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next video.
Hill. That's how we conducted our Zoom calls with the players and the coaches. Now lining up, he's going to go deep, and that one is going to be caught.